All right. We are live. Live on YouTube. The morning grind is boycotting Facebook.
That's right.
That's what's happening. Not really sure why that all happened that way, but it just did. So that's fine.
That's right.
Okay. Well, good morning, man. How's
Morning.
everyone?
Very well. How are you?
I couldn't possibly be better. All right, let's go around the room real quick and let's talk about what we're grateful for this morning. Josh, what are you grateful for this morning?
Yesterday I was having a hard time finding a particular meat at the grocery store, and this woman came up to me and helped me. She worked at the store. She went in the back of the store and grabbed the certain meat that I was looking for and gave it to me. So I'm very thankful for her.
I heard that on your show this
I was about
morning.
to say, very small gesture, really made my evening.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Ed, what are you thankful for this morning?
I don't know what I'm thankful for right now, but I know what I'm about to be thankful for, and that's some antibiotics.
Antibiotics. You must be battling a little something.
As he put that.
Yeah. I hope that was from the attic and not the basement van. Can't tell from behind the glass. You just don't know.
Attic and not the basement.
You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Jason, what are you thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. Yesterday, I chose not to come in because I was really feeling under the weather. But this morning, I told myself, even though I didn't feel that great, I needed to take this opportunity to get in here and get some stuff done. So I'm just happy for the opportunity to be here again.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Brought it to me.
What's
I
that?
think Ed gave it to me.
Brought it to me.
You know, I mean, that's just what it is, right? So it's always a challenge. You know, for those of you that have children, that's always a thing too. The kids go to school and they come back, and you got the little things, all that. Okay, so this morning, now, as you guys know, you know, I typically get everybody fired up a little bit. You know, we're going to get inspired. We're going to think about some things. And today's not going to be any different. I'm probably not going to leave in a rousing round of applause, but, you know, it could break out at any time. It may get there. It may get there.
We know.
But I wanted to, you know, there were a couple things that have really struck me. And so, you know, we've got the morning grind and people tune into the show and they watch. But, you know, I kind of have gotten to the point where now the people that are watching the show, you know, I almost feel as if they're sort of, you know, innocent bystanders in a sense to kind of the interactions that happen here in the room. But the real value that I get, not to discount all the listeners, but the real value I get is in this small space with the hearts that are in this room. That is a really big thing. I do a lot of charitable work and different things, and it's always one of those big deals where to get the hearts in the room matters. That's sort of what I focus on. So
Present lives.
absolutely. And so I thought that this morning, you know, the topic that came to me is why quotes matter, right? Like, you know, do you know any quotes? Do you ever quote people? You know, such and such said this or such. Do you ever quote people like that?
Yeah.
What's a favorite quote of yours?
Does scripture count?
Sure, it absolutely
Colossians
counts.
1:3, always be strong and courageous.
All right,
That
all right.
one
Is it just
always stuck
because
with
the
me.
book's named after you? Is that yeah? Yeah. It's a personal message.
I'm not super religious or anything like that, but that's like the one thing. That's the one quote.
Yeah,
I was
it's almost like God said, Joshua.
talking to
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
I said that. No, I'm just
Yeah, I got you. Well, that's a very important point. It's interesting because I thought, you know, Scripture is in many ways quotes, especially if you're of the belief that it is the inspired word of God, then it is actually God speaking to you through those individuals. So definitely counts as quotes. Ed, what about yourself? Now, you are a rap artist, performer. You probably just like got rhymes. Do you spit things? Is that like Was that the deal? That's like I'm decidedly unhip right now, but
Yeah, no, I like other people's quotes too.
all right. What you got? You got a
Home is where
favorite?
you make it.
What's that?
Home is where you make it.
All right. Home is where you make it.
Home where you make it.
Who's that?
It's Joe Dirt.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, that guy, boy.
Jason, you got any good quotes that you like?
No, I don't, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably should, but I don't.
Oh, that is just what it is. You've probably ever heard somebody say something that you repeat. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, digging that. All right. So we're going to talk about a couple of quotes and why they matter. But, so why do quotes matter? Why does that quote mean something to you? Why do you think that matters to you?
Well, first off, it's my name.
Right.
Second off, it applies to every day. Like whenever I'm walking around, let's just say I got to do something that I don't want to do, and I have to have some sort of courage. I always think about that quote.
Yeah.
Hey, be strong and courageous.
It's a reminder.
It's a reminder, yeah.
What do quotes mean to you? Like
Inspirational.
inspirational? You ever go through, even though you don't have any favorite quotes that you would just throw out there, do you ever go through and you see quotes on Facebook and you're like,
I've read stuff that I've been like, damn.
super meaningful, bro.
I, in fact, have a quote every day.
You got a quote a day. All right.
Here's today's. The universe responds to details. The universe responds to energy. The universe responds to badasses.
I like it.
All right. What calendar you got over there?
It's called You're a Badass.
Oh, all right. Well,
For every day of the year.
apropos. There you go. Okay, so I would say that that quotes are important because they bring a temporary focus to what you're doing.
I agree.
You feel how that works? So, there are tons of quotes. There are tons of books. People send quotes all the time. You can't be on Facebook without seeing quote after quote and inspiring quote. Do you ever do that thing where you see somebody's Facebook quotes and you're like, what are they going through? You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a breakup. So you ever do? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Or whatever it may be. They bring comfort. They bring any number of things into focus at that particular time. So I would contend that quotes, and the reason that quotes are important is because they stop all of the thinking and they bring you into the present moment. So again, that's one of those reasons why my present moment is so invaluable to me and is so important to me, because every time I see a portal into the presence, something that brings presence to what you're doing, then I see value in that. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, indifferent. I don't know. What I do know is, to me, it's the only thing that matters. It is the only thing that matters. So before we get into these two quotes, I do want to share one thing with you, sort of interesting thought. So Josh this morning was sharing the story of he was at the store having a bad day, grumpy about something, and some person at the store diverted her attention from her job that she was doing to help him locate an item in the store that he was about to walk away without having purchased. That's basically the story. So he then was like, if I ever see that person again, or if I get the opportunity and I cross paths with that person, then I'm going to make it a point to help that person and return that favor, I think, in essence, was what he was saying. So that was a great story. Very interesting to look on the small things. Very interesting to feel that sense of paying it forward, or that sense of, okay, when I see that person again. So the only thing I would submit to you for consideration, something to think about, is that if we are all connected and we are all the deep well, and the waves on top of the ocean are all of the things that we do in our waking life. We sell real estate. Our name is Josh. We saw a person at the store. All of those things are the waves on top. but we are all part of that deep well of the ocean underneath, then what you can realize is you, as a wave that looks like Josh Harrell that sells real estate in Murfreesboro, and this person that helped you, y'all both saw each other as waves, but you are not separate from one another in truth. I share that with you because you don't have to wait until you see that person again. When you see another wave, you, that other wave,
Exactly right.
and that person, when you honor that person, you are honoring that person that helped you
Exactly
by
right.
honoring the life within all of those ways that's showing up.
100%.
You see, and so that I just wanted to throw that thought down to you that you don't have to feel like you've got to wait for anything. It can happen right there, right now, all of the time.
I agree.
Yeah, and if everybody would understand that principle, then think about how that would radically change the world. That's why when you see things that are happening in different parts of the world that you can't do anything about, my spiritual teacher would tell me that the one thing that you can do is what we just talked about, that exercise of understanding that you can't go actually help the people that are going through the earthquake, but by honoring life in your present moment, then that has this multiplying effect in which somebody there in that country, when that building falls, they are those waves. It's an interesting sort of thing. So anyway, just a little add on to your story there. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing the story. Okay, so we got just a minute. We're going to talk about we're talking about quotes, and again, I want to bring some presence to what we're doing today. So we're going to take a minute. I've just got a couple. This is another example. So I got a friend of mine. We do private investment, real estate investment, private hard money investing together, different things. Anyway, he gave me these little books when I saw him last. We were talking about some deals and how to get deals done, and so he gave me these little books. But and they're really neat. But the main thing is they just show you also that we don't need more information. You know, it's like we don't need more facts. We don't need more information. I've got more information than 100 libraries of Alexandria in my pocket, and people do wrong stuff all the time, right? We don't need more information. We need to do the right thing. There's plenty of facts out there, okay? So we'll just take one of these, a couple of these. If standard of living is your major objective, quality of life almost never improves. But if quality of life is your number one objective, your standard of living almost always improves.
I like that.
Pretty interesting.
Who said that?
That is Zig Ziglar. Little book of big quotes. And the thing about that is that I think is interesting is we had a discussion the other day I was talking with a couple of salespeople, and we were talking about the methods and everything that everyone was doing and what their plans are and media plan, like all these things, right? And I was really struck by the fact that I took that opportunity as a reminder that all of those things are important, but it's focusing on the things that are underneath that will always be most important. And this person is a dynamic individual with a lot of plans and a lot of things that they want to do, and they can and will do them all. But focusing on the things underneath as the primary focus is always, always your job. Work on those things underneath. Quotes become those little moments, those little portals into the present moment. But trust me, do not invest overly in the things that can change. Everything on the outside will change. It will go away. It will move. It is always going to be changing. The things underneath are timeless and never change. So always focus on those things. Okay, that's it. Have a good day. Van, get me out of here.